After a gritty 1-1 draw against Equatorial Guinea in their African Cup of Nations opener, the Super Eagles wasted no time in refocusing their sight on the next crucial encounter, a make-or-break clash with hosts Ivory Coast. Despite the hard-fought result, the Eagles faced some injury concerns as key players set out Monday's recovery session. The Super Eagles returned to their familiar training pitch at École Nationale de la Police under the Abidjan twilight. However, the usual faces were missing as Victor Osimhen, Moses Simon, William Troost Ekong, Olaino, and Frank Onyeka were granted doctor-recommended rest to aid their recovery. Fresh blood bolstered the training session with the arrival of Kelechi Iheanacho, Terem Murphy, and Paul Onwachu. Midfielder Al-Hassan Yusuf, however, remained sidelined, still nursing the bruise sustained against Equatorial Guinea. The Eagles' quest for continental glory remains on track, but their focus is squarely on Thursday's showdown with Ivory Coast.
So I went to the Nigeria game the other day, which was an interesting game. I expected a lot more from Nigeria. I think on paper Nigeria have a wonderful looking team, and I can't say that I've seen a lot of Nigeria's games recently, but I think they drew a game before getting to the tournament against an opposition that Nigerians feel that they should have beat. It's a lot like Ghana. I'm from Ghana. We're not doing very well. And I think Nigeria fall into that category. We're looking at two sleeping giants in Nigeria and Ghana, but Nigeria even more so. When you think of Afcon and teams who should be at the top of Afcon, Nigeria should always be there. Massive population, everything about Nigeria, the whole world knows about. So I was very disappointed in the result, and I'm interested to see how they play against Ivory Coast, because Ivory Coast are coming on a hot run of form. If you're in the Ivory Coast or you haven't been here during the tournament, whenever there's an Ivory Coast game, the streets are jam-packed. You can't move anywhere or do anything. So Nigeria won't be able to, the Nigerian fans won't be able to overcome that noise. And I wonder whether the players will be able to overcome that type of atmosphere. It's going to be a lot, and that's why I believe that Nigeria should have won that first game. And they put themselves in such a bad position. And I think with such a talented team, Chukwueze played very well. I was very impressed with him. But then again, they couldn't really find Osimhen that well. I thought Iwobi had a decent game, but you guys as Nigerians will be able to tell me whether the players performed well or not. But if I was a fan of Nigeria, I would be very disappointed. And now you're looking at a game that you have to get a result from. You can't leave there with 0 points. Even 1 point, it just won't work.
The first game was against the Nzala National of Equatorial Guinea, and they proved very stubborn. They were very active at the back. They made sure that they couldn't provide the Super Eagles with those chances at a point in time. But at a point, chances came calling, but Super Eagles came on missing all those begging opportunities, especially Victor Osimhen. But you can see that Nigeria had a lot of problems. I think the goalkeeping problem has still not been sorted out. Yes, yesterday Stanley Wabili made his debut. I cannot blame him for conceding that goal in that fight. It was a proper response from the Super Eagles with just a minute later equalizer from Victor Osimhen. But going forward, I think they need to change their approach to the game. I didn't see that vigor, that willingness to die hard for the nation, especially from the players. Big G2 in the midfield, Frank Onyeka, Alassane Yusuf, Alexander Iwobi. I didn't see much of them. I expect a lot of better performance going forward from them. Lukman Ademola at a point did a very good job. Victor, Simon Moses, but they are yet to arrive at the party.
You can see that now in Africa, there's not a big or little teams. All the teams are not valuable, so each one has to work harder so that they can attain, they can get the goals. So we are looking a good competition that's starting with some surprises, as we saw Nigeria that draw face to Guinea Equatorial, with also Egypt that suffered before having the draw also, and Ghana that had been beaten by Cape Verde. it's amazing. It means that we're going to see maybe a good competition, because there's big team going to fight so that they can be up now at the sake. We can expect, we want to see a big Nigeria, a big team of Nigeria, because of the level of the players they got. The best player in Africa now is Nigerian. We know Victor Osimhen, a big striker. So we wait a lot from this time. We don't want Nigeria to be in difficulties, so that maybe we're going to be near to the way to go out. No, we expect that they're going to be strong. They want to see a very good match. The Ivory Coast also, you can note that they're going to come to joke, because they also have to have a ticket to the next step now. So you can see a very good match.
I mean, my expectation for who will win the game, I think Ivory Coast will win. I think the fanfare and the atmosphere will be too much. I think it will be too much for almost any team. I was there at the very first game, Ivory Coast game, and that place was packed. You couldn't move around, you couldn't get in. So I think, unfortunately, unless Nigeria really sort themselves out, they won't be able to overcome such a task. And I think they've left it too late to make something out of this group, you know.